Y'all, I'm so like totally confused. Lord, please let somebody with the intelligence and knowledge of what the heck is going on join up on this live so I can like really understand what the heck, like the heck is going on. Cause I've never seen like, okay, I'm understanding like, you know, the things we don't, it's really when they say we don't wrestle against flesh and flesh, it's really everything is spiritual. I'm like, God, like, you know, he already been showing me that, you know, lately. But this is a whole different ball game right here. I ain't never seen nothing like that. I ain't seen nothing like this before. Like, y'all, I kid you not, I was minding my business. And I go in the living room and I see it's a whole bunch of like cotton, brown stuff. Like, you know, the stuff that be inside of like a teddy bear or something like that. But instead of it being like white, it was brown. Like, I don't understand. And it's like I'm looking around. Y'all hear the bars? Instead of white, it was brown. I'm looking around. That's how you know I know God got me. It's like I'm talking about it, but I really don't care. Like, I really don't care. Like, I know, like, God got me for sure. Like, it is what it is. But it's just like, it's like, what the heck? They got all these bugs up in here. Some of all up in here. At some point, it wasn't even this bad. Like, you got this one crawling. I'm gonna set you on fire. I'm over here trying to get ready to cook my food. That's gone. But yeah, y'all, I'm appalled. Like, I've never seen nothing like this before. And this is supposed to be raised. It's coming out like water. I don't know. There we go. Spray them critters. This one is crazy. Hold on. My fault. I had the water all running. All I know is I'm spraying everywhere. Oh, y'all roaches is dying. Y'all is about to die, okay? For coming in here and bothering me, messing with my peace and my sanity. Because it was bugs. Granted, when I first moved in here, but it wasn't no roaches. There wasn't no roaches in this apartment, I will say that. There wasn't no roaches. But now it's all of a sudden it's everywhere. Roaches, like, and I grew up around roaches in a house full of roaches, like, so it's not like I'm bougie or anything. It's just at some point when you buy your own facility, your own apartment, you expect like for it to be well kept, and it's like it's sad that it's mainly like that in the ghetto. Like that's what I was like thinking about the other day. I was like, it's like we got all these Section 8 places. And I don't even really blame like Section 8 too much. Cause you know they do their part. They give us our voucher and make sure that we got housing and all that stuff. Y'all heard the bars? They give us our housing and make sure we got vouchers. But yeah, it's just the people that be owning the building that don't be keeping up. Like I don't know. Then again, it's like people be doing witchcraft and all that stuff. I don't know. My mom said something like when she had her place. I don't even know if I want to get all into that. But she said something about she had her place and it was no roaches at first. But roaches later came when the roaches started appearing later in her apartment due to somebody playing around doing witchcraft. And I'm just like, I don't know if that was the case for me, or that's what's been going on. But I'm a praying, faithful woman. I believe in God. I believe in Yahshua. I believe in King Yahshua. You know, I used to say Jesus until I figured out the truth, and his name is Yahshua. Some people know, some people don't. If you don't, well, guess what? I just told you, so now you know. That's his name. And I was reading the Bible, and it's funny because I came across like a video. It's like I was about to get ready to post something on TikTok, and the freaking, before I could even go to what I was about to post, I ended up seeing a screenshot. Y'all hear the bars? Before I could go to what I was about to post, I saw a screenshot. But yeah, I saw a screenshot about a scripture. It was 1 Samuel. What was it? 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse. Let me try to see if I can remember. Verse chapter 1 Samuel chapter, I think it was chapter 6, verse 13. Let me see if I'm right. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 13. No, it was 12. 1 Samuel. See, I said it first and then I changed it to 6. See, I always go with your first thought. So it's 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 12, and it says, "So he sent and brought him. Now he was ruddy, with bright eyes and good looking. And the Lord said, Arise, anoint him, for this is the one." And it's funny, because when I looked up ruddy, what ruddy means, all these pictures, it was a picture of, like, South African people. Like, I saw a picture of a South African, like, little kid. He had, like, you know, brownish, reddish. Funny thing. Now, that's wild. I opened the fridge to get a water bottle. Basically, it was this color. This color that popped up. The color like this. It was like, I don't know if the color scheme, you can actually see it. But hold on, let me put it in the light. It was like a reddish, brownish, tonish color. And the fact that I opened the fridge to get a water bottle and my eyes like just immediately went to this just goes to show the Lord is really trying to tell us something. For those that don't know, who he is, and they be questioning what he looks like, whether he's, you know, of color or not of color. And mainly, I don't even think it's really about the color scheme. It's just more so about whether or not we've been lied to. I know that's what it's been for me. Because, like, all I know is I always grew up around Jesus loves the little children. All the children of the world. There is yellow, black, and white. Jesus precious in his sight. They're all precious in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. And, you know, the description that they gave always was a white man's face. But when I looked up Ruddy, the color that I just showed out of the cinnamon, that's what I saw. That's exactly what the heck I saw. And it's crazy because they also had like white people. And actually I'm gonna show y'all for visual learners. If anybody like me, I'm a visual learner. So I gotta see certain things. And I should have screenshotted it. But they had, like I said, brown faced person, then they had white people. And they were trying to say that the white people had ruddy skin. But like they was white with red, like reddish tone hair color. So I'm just like, then like, you know, I just, you know, I get down to the nitty gritty. I seek the truth and the truth only. That's just that. Therefore, I'm gonna always go digging for the truth. And that's why I think me and God are like this. And why he always like, you know, keep me in his good grace anytime I go astray. Because it's like he knows my heart. You know, the Bible says the Lord knows your heart. Like, you know, you have those that are wicked and evil and all that stuff, and you have those who are kind, loving, and all that stuff. And that's me. It's like, I never done wrong to nobody. I always, like, intentionally, you know, I always took my L's in silence. I was just crying not too long ago about a lover who we just recently split. And he had a woman when I was like basically like trying to check up on him, make sure he was still alive and breathing. And he had, when I told him, he said, when I called him, he said, "Who is this?" And I told him my actual name. I didn't even say Tori. I told him my government name to, like, you know, have a little fresh start. It's a new year. I was in positive attitude. And he just hung up the phone, banged on me, click, boop, bye. Then the phone rang again, and he it wasn't even him. It was a female. It was the voice of a female, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't think such and such wants to." She said maybe such and such doesn't want to talk to you. And I was like, oh. You know, I was kind of taken back because it was just like, dang, well. Here I am, like, trying to make sure you alive because people keep asking me, like, where's your boyfriend? Where's your boyfriend? Where's your boyfriend? And it's like, I don't know. Like, I was out of town. Like, so I didn't know if he had came up here to my apartment when I was out of town because he told me that he was going to be coming back in December, like, before Christmas or something like that. And then also, so did the girl, his friend, who dog I was watching. She said that she was going to be coming back before Christmas. But it turns out they both are still out of town doing something. Who knows? I don't know if they together or they not. Like I said, that's not my business. That's not my place. Because, you know, Yahshua, he sees everything. So that's, like I said, I wasn't even calling about that. Like, at first I was kind of, you know, wanting to see him and all that. But I mainly was calling about the dang dog because I was like, I need to get this place bombed. Like, there's so many roaches in this apartment, and I'm tired of it. And I didn't want to the black dog that y'all see, I didn't want to give that dog to just a random person. So I was trying to give her back to the person that originally dropped her off to me before I had went to North Carolina, or see if my ex or fling, because I don't even think we wasn't even really in a relationship. So we was just it was he just came one day and was like all in my face. Like, oh, I want to be in a relationship, da 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 da. And I told him, I don't think, after everything that happened in the past, I don't think that's gonna work. Like I said, I think we need to take it slow, be friends at first, and then see what happens. And that's just that. So, yeah, that's what we ended up doing. And then just later down the line, he just ended up staying longer in my moving, basically dang near moving in. And yeah, like I said, things didn't go well. We ended up having like a little big altercation where his friend even called me the B word. And then it was a time where he had called my phone and he was having a conversation with the friend that called me the B word. But he was just trash talking me, bad talking me. Mind you, when we had split, or when he went his separate ways, when we got to that fight that night, I didn't tell nobody about that. Like, we was in here scuffling. Like, he had literally put his hands around my neck because I dropped his phone in the tub because we was getting into like a back and forth about the dog. And not this dog, but his dog and my dogs, Harley and Charlie, not the black dog, because this black dog just came about. But he was like, oh, he like just only tolerates him and all that stuff. And I was telling him, I was like, well, well, your dog is annoying too at times, but I tolerate her too. Like, I was like, and I was telling the truth, because I was like, sometimes like his dog was always like, jumping on my bed, and I sleep on the air mattress, so I was always worried that she would pop the bed. Then it was like she shed like hair a lot, but I understood that those were things like, she couldn't help, that she wanted to be like a friendly dog jumping on the bed and all that stuff. She seemed like the little dogs, Harley and Charlie, jumping on the bed. So, she can't help that she's a big dog. So she wanted to get up on the bed. Sometimes I would let her, but like I said, it was an air mattress, so sometimes I would be fearful that she would, pop a hole in it, because it already had a hole in it. So, and that was like my third time purchasing one. So, yeah. After that, he was like, oh, like, you're lying, like, you just saying that because I said I don't F with your dogs, da da da. So I was like, and I don't like people calling me a liar. So like, I was like a bit upset, but I tried to push it to the back of my mind, because he was like, you know what, we just gonna leave it alone. And it was like kind of, I think that's what it was. It was like I didn't even get to really say everything that I wanted to say. It was like I was cut off from saying what I wanted to say. And I think that's what really led to everything else. Because it was like I was basically holding it in, or at least trying to hold it in. It was like he said everything he said, but I couldn't say what I had to say. And yeah, after that, we met up at my place because I was just coming home from work, and he had pulled up, and I grabbed his bag, I grabbed his stuff, took it upstairs, basically helping him, trying to push everything to the back of my mind. But it was just like, it was a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot. And like I said, I was being accused of like lying, and I didn't like that. It was like, yeah, I F with your dog, or I feel like I don't know. It was just like, he was just like I said, I think I told him, I said, shoot, Harley and Charlie, they be getting on my nerves too. Like, they be annoying the heck out of me too. I said, it's not just your dog. I said they be getting on my nerves as well, and they're my dogs. So next thing you know, we get up here, and like I said, I had, you know, my little attitude, but I was trying to, you know, ignore it. But it was like I needed a minute, low key. Like I don't know like why, but it was like I was trying so hard to like just leave it alone. But it was like I was kind of upset that I couldn't finish what I had to say. And it was like I couldn't say what I had to say because I got cut off. Next thing you know, what happened? Yeah, we was up here, basically going tit for tat. He was trying to touch some stuff of mine, and I was basically telling him not to touch it, like leave it alone. And he was like trying to basically blow up my air mattress. And I was trying to tell him, I was like, can you please not touch my stuff? And he wouldn't listen. That was one thing. It was like that video when it was like, oh, it's hot, don't touch it, and the person keeps touching it. You like, hey, I said, don't. It's hot, you know, don't touch it, and the person just continued to touch it. It was like that's what he was doing, and it was like I respected what he said. Like he said he was gonna leave it, like he didn't want to talk about it no more. Even though it was, you know, on the back of my mind, I still, you know, took a L basically, because it was like he got to say what he wanted to say, and I just sat quiet, like I ain't say nothing. Like I said, when we got up here, I felt some type of way, but for the sake of us not, you know, getting into an argument, I left it alone. But when he was, you know, I was asking him to, like, you know, not touch my air mattress or, like, try to pump it up, because that's what he was trying to do. He was like, oh, it needs to be pumped up, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I'll do it, like, you know, just don't touch it. And it's like, arguing over pumping up an air mattress is hilarious, bro. It's, like, real ghetto. But, yeah, he wouldn't listen. So I had picked up his phone just to, like, show him, like, look, you keep touching my stuff, I'm going to touch your stuff. So that's what I did. I picked up his phone and I dropped it in the tub. His phone had a case, so it's like I didn't want to like do something like detrimental or any of that. And I had a lover who passed away, and I had said some very hurtful things to him before he passed away. He got so so I always didn't want to like argue or fight or none of that stuff. And it was like he always was like, "Oh, you like to argue." Thank you. He was like, "Oh, you always want to argue." And I was like, not really. Like, it's really the opposite. Like, I really did not like to argue or fight. But to him, he thought I did. And which is, I don't know why, but he did. And yeah, I just had to endure that. And when I had dropped his phone in the tub, he put his hands around my throat and he started choking me. And he like, well, I like moved it, and then he started like trying to toss me in the tub, and it was just like, bro, like, what are you doing? Next thing you know, we're just like scuffling in the bathroom. He's trying to toss me in the tub, and I'm just like basically holding my weight, like, and it's crazy because it's like I was literally doing that. And I felt like a whole shift, like he shifted, like his body, like it was like it went from like trying to like do it a little bit to like when he realized he couldn't get me in that tub, it's just like he got even more angry. And I was just like, oh no, like after that I was like, you gotta go, like you gotta go. Fast forward, he moved like his stuff out, or before that. He was like, you know, after everything calmed down, he realized his mistake, because I started praying. I was like, Lord, like, I said, I don't know. I said, I need you to remove him. I said, I need you to remove him. Like, I said, this is really not of you. I said, I need you to remove him. Like, seriously. And it's crazy because that's why I was like, I don't understand, like, why I was crying when I just remembered. Like, I prayed, and they say that removal spell or prayer is dangerous, or it get real.
Cause look, God, like he waits till you're willing. Like he'll like try to steer you away from it. But if you're like me and I was the type that was like always like, you know what, I'ma just stick it out. I'ma keep trying. Maybe he'll see me. Maybe he'll see my work. Maybe he'll, understand that like I'm not trying to argue with him or pick a fight with him. That I love him and all this other stuff. I just want to be his peace, and I just want him to, do the same for me and all that stuff. But it ain't go down like that. It ain't go down like that at all. Um, and it was crazy because he was asking me in the midst of it, and he was like, so you really want me to leave? And I'm like, obviously in the heat of the argument, I'm gonna say yes. Like I'm not gonna be like, no, like stay. After we just dang near tussled in the bathroom, like no, I'm gonna tell you to get the heck out. Like, duh, any common sense? Like I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, baby, you know what? Yeah, you can stay. Like no. After that, I was like, no, like go, go, go. Like you gonna ask me in that moment. So if once I leave, I'm not coming back. Like like in the heat of an argument, really, not in the heat of a battle, because that's what it was. It was war. It was war. It was a battle. It was a battlefield up in this apartment. Hold on, be right there. So after that, what happened? Yeah, we after he said that to me, like, oh, once I leave, like this, like you really want me to go? And I told him yes. That's when he called his friend, or his fast forward to his friend came, his friend mom had came, and they started helping him move his stuff out of this apartment. So, and while he was doing that, I kind of like felt bad. Like I was like, okay, maybe I am being like a little too difficult. Like maybe we should have just like, both calmed down and just talked it out. Like maybe when I did say that, like, oh yes, you need to go. Like, and that's what I told him. I was like, you know what? And it's like pride really is a devil. Because that's all it was. It was like I've been wanting to tell him, like, when he was packing his stuff up, I was like, dang, like, I was like, Lord, I don't really want him to leave. Like, because it was crazy. Like, it was like, I didn't even want, like, I didn't even understand how it got to that. Like, something so small. Like, something that small, like, got him, like, so angry. Like, I dropped the phone, like, in the thing, and that was it. Hold on. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this food. I ask that you bless this food tremendously and that it tastes very appealing. And Yahshua's name I pray. I thank you in advance. Amen. But, yeah, it was just really odd to me that it went that far. So, and I remember we had a scuffle like back in a while, like where I can't remember what it was, but it's like I just had a vision of it where I had kind of like lashed out on him when I stayed in a program back in like 2021. He had came around. I don't know what the heck it was about, like what he did to tick me off, or if I don't know, like if I was just like emotional or something. Like I can't remember, but all I know is I think I had punched him or slapped him in the living room because I was telling him also that's what it was. I was like just give me space, and he just kept coming towards me. I'm like, just back up, like give me space. And he just kept coming towards me, trying to touch me and all this other stuff. And it was like I kind of literally, not even kinda, I blacked out. I saw black. Like I just closed my eyes and just like, and I swung because it reminded me of a time where I was in Winston-Salem, and my brother and his grandmother was like cornering me, like they was like, oh, what's wrong, Tora, what's wrong, like what's wrong? And it was like everybody knew what was wrong with me. I was grieving over my friend being killed, and it's like people act like they never like lost someone before, or I don't know, maybe they didn't in the time, but it was just odd, like that they was cornering me. And hold on, I'm not sure why I'm sniffing, but yeah, getting back to the story, it was just really weird. But I really thank God, like, just for being in the midst of it all. Like, that's just about it. Like, he's gone, and I realized he's probably not coming back no time soon. Like, and it's like I've been like looking at our memories and our videos, and I was looking at the color scheme, cause I was like, Lord, I don't know if like I made him like run away. Like, if I was in the wrong in this situation. But it's like God like showed me like in the videos and all that stuff that I'm gonna post later probably, that it wasn't me. That he had a dark energy upon him and I was his light. Or he was always like saying that he was very nonchalant. And he definitely showed it. Like, there was times where I would be like trying to joke with him when I was watching a video where I was joking with him about like the donuts and all that. I was like, I just told you, like I already told you on the way here what donut I wanted. And he was like, no, you didn't. I was like, yes, I did. Like, which I did, but I was like, you know, obviously joking around like with him, but still like proving a point. And he was like, see, this is where my patience won, and all this stuff. He was like, this is where my patience kick in. This is when your BS kick in. And I was just like, and I was looking at the video. I'm like, But I realized, I guess God had to use me to get him back to the person that he created him to be. It's unfortunate I had to sacrifice my sanity. But I guess that's what makes me God's soldier. That's why I'm truly blessed and highly favored, because it's like I'm willing to do like literally anything Yahshua wants me to do. Like, I was telling him, I was sharing a story about me hitchhiking down to well, actually taking it back to like the girl. But yeah, when I had called him, I think I already told you about that part anyway, so there's no point in saying it. But yeah, it was weird because it was only weird or like kind of surprising that he like banged on me, because it was like, yeah, after the little scuffle, like this junk safe goes to show this is a very important video. All I know is there's some weird stuff going on in this facility, in this apartment. Like, I don't know what's going on. But I was originally talking about, yeah, I think I finished the story that yeah, it was just odd that he would just bang on me like that, because even after our little scuffle and all that, and I told him to leave, we took like a little break without talking to each other or whatnot. After that, he ended up, I remember I was at work, and he just randomly called my phone, said that he was checking on me, making sure I was okay, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, yeah, I'm good, I'm straight. I was like, I'm at work, so can't really be on the phone for that long. But, you know, how are you? How, you know, basically being nice, being cordial. Loving thy neighbor, following God's commandments, being forgiving. But yeah, after that, like, we was just in contact with each other. He came to see me like one time, or I think he came to see me one time to drop something off, I think, or just to pop up. I can't really remember, but I remember I had like a green sweater on and some sweatpants, and I think I had my hair tied up, or I had my hair out, but like my natural hair. And I remember him saying, he was like, I like you like that. Like, he said, I like that for you. And I was like, what? And I guess at the time I didn't really know what he was talking about. I'm like, what you mean? Like, but I guess he was saying like, just dressing regular, like, how I normally would dress, like how Tora dress. Like, that's just me. Before, I never was really into fancy clothes and all that stuff when I first came up here. Um, I mainly like, I mainly just walked around with slides, leggings, from what I remember, jeans, and I would put like a sweater on or like a hoodie and call it a day. Unless I was going somewhere like where I had to dress up, but most of the time I didn't really care. If I wanted to dress up, I would dress up. Most of the time I was chill. So it's like we both kind of helped each other grow in a way, unknowingly. Which is strange. It's like I don't know, because it was like while we was together, I did start like working in a club and all that stuff, but it was only for financial reasons, because I couldn't work. My client, the services his parents cut off due to insecurities. They thought like I didn't want to work with their son. I was about to say the kid. But I told him, I was like, it has nothing to do with that. I said I was running late with the buses. Then on top of that, I told him, I said, if I was to ever stop working with your son, it would not be because of your son. Prime example, I'm not working with their son, and it wasn't because of me. It was because of them. They cut the services. Had they not cut the services, I still would have been working with him, even though they was bashing me, saying that I remember his auntie said out loud, and like she was speaking in Creole, and then out loud she was like, well, he's not learning with her. And it was only my second day, third day, and I was like trying to like get him to tie the shoes, trying to figure out, like how he learns, how long he could sit down, how like, if he how far like he could go with tying the shoes and all that stuff, so that could shape my way of teaching him later on. So when she had said that, it kind of like, hurt my self-esteem a little bit, but I ignored it. And then his mom had made a comment and said like, that her son, we was kind of the same size, or like he was a little bit bigger than me, so like he could probably overpower me. And I was just like, she was like, if he ever get like aggressive and all that, like, she didn't want him to like, hurt me or harm me and all that. And I remember I just laughed it off. I was like, my last client, he was like 5 years old, and trust me, that little boy was strong, but I had to, it's like he prepared me. Like he taught me some things. So I was like, I said, trust me, I experienced everything with my last client, which I did. And he has a biblical name too. Can't really disclose because it's confidential, but he has a biblical name, so yeah. But that's crazy because his name is popping up right now. It says follow, and it's like I would, but I can't. He don't want to talk to me. From what he said, but yeah, like, yeah, maybe that's gotta bring it back. So yeah, bringing it back to that story. We was in contact. I think that was the last time I had seen him in person, and then we was just like, checking up on each other through text and all that stuff. And then fast forward to like December 7th, when I was getting ready to go to my grandmother's funeral down in North Carolina, he called me and was like, hey, my friend needs someone that, like, he said, are you willing to take a third dog in or whatnot? And I think he asked before December 7th, but December 7th was the day that the dog got dropped off to me. And I've been having a dog ever since. The owner said that she was going to come back and get the dog, but she never came back. I don't know what happened with that. But and it's like I told her, I was like, I don't mind like keeping a dog forever. It's just let me know if that's what needs to be done. Like don't tell me like you're gonna be coming back to get her and then I'm expecting you to come back and get her someday and then you don't really never come, because that's what my god brother did with Harley. He said that that was his baby. What he said to be where he said that's my P. Like I'm coming back for her. He said, but Charlie was for keeps. And fast forward to now, Harley's mine, because he finally told me. He was like, when I told him, because I kind of figured something was off. I'm like, what's really going on? But I was like, I'm gonna just mind my business. But one day I finally came when he came to visit, and we was sitting down outside, and I was like, like a little sister. He's not my blood brother, but I'm just like, what's really going on? Like, what's up? I said, like, you need me to keep her? Like, you can't, keep her in your house? Something going on? I said, just let me know. And that's what it was with the girl. I was like, just let me know. Like, don't be saying, like, oh, I'm going to come back, I'm going to come back, I'm going to come back. And, like, you're not going to be able to come back. Like, you need to keep her forever or possibly place her in a stable home with either one of my family members, because I said I could give her to one of my family members, because like I'm a dog lover, but sometimes it can be overwhelming. It can be a little bit overwhelming, especially when you got a lot, like when you got more than one, more than two, three. Like this a lot. But yeah, it's okay. It's been alright. I've been gravitating a little bit. Yeah, it was rough in the beginning with these dogs, but it's been alright. It's been alright. The only thing is, this girl got a little hate fest going on up in there. I don't know where it came from. It's like cotton. It looked like brown cotton. I don't know what the heck it came from. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta use the bathroom. I don't know if I should show y'all or not. But yeah, and then even when I was in North Carolina, like even though his conversation or messages was a little bit dry, but I like kind of assumed like it was because he was like working or whatever. And on top of that, like I don't know. But after that, yeah, once I finally came back to North Carolina, like I said, when I was in North Carolina, we was in contact. We was in contact with each other, literally. I said when I came back to North Carolina. When I went to North Carolina, we was in contact with each other. Now I don't know what occurred or what happened, but when I came back here to Jersey, and I called him on the phone. So when I came back, everybody was like, where your boyfriend? Where your boyfriend? I'm just like, why y'all asking where he at? I'm like, what y'all do to him? Because this girl, like, made, like, a little subliminal comment out loud. And she was like, you should have went with your boyfriend instead of your friend. Like, she didn't say it to me. It was, like, indirectly, out loudly. And I'm just like I said earlier in the video, like, I'm like, I don't know if he came by here and somebody said something to him, somebody did something to him. Because, like I said, well, actually, I didn't say this, but when I came up here to Jersey, I was calling him, and he wasn't answering. So I'm like, and I had a person who I was dealing with passed away. Like, unknowingly, out of nowhere, when we weren't really on speaking terms. So it was kind of, like, traumatic for me. And it was like I was having, like, flashbacks. So I'm like, Lord, like, I'm, like, praying. I'm like, Lord, please don't let nothing happen to him. Like, please make sure he's okay. Like, keep him from harm, keep him safe, all of that. And it's crazy because here I am, was worried about you, praying for your safety. And I finally get in touch with you, and you bang on me. You hang up the phone on me. And it was just like, okay. And it was like, it was hurtful. But I took it to the chin. I was like, you know what? I said, I'm going to just go ahead and, I I don't know. I hate when she do that. Like, she just randomly barks at her, like, out of nowhere each time. But, yeah, like, it was hurtful. I'm not gonna lie. It was hurtful. Like, for him to hang up the phone. Because I was like, even though, like, you know, our relationship, I thought we was there, like, as a friend. Like, I thought we had a friendship, at least. But, yeah, it was hurtful. I'm not gonna lie, it was hurtful. But like I said, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just leave it on. Because I was like, I don't know, Lord, should I call him back? And I was like, I don't even know if he hung up on purpose or like the phone like probably died or like, I don't know. I was taken back, but I was like, I just started, I was like, I'm gonna just go back in the house. Because my phone was off and I was using Wi-Fi at the laundromat. It was cold. I was standing outside using the laundromat Wi-Fi because it was closed. So I was like, yeah, I don't got time for this anyway. So I'm just go ahead back into my little apartment. But as I was like, you know, about to walk there, the phone rang and I saw his name. Next thing you know, I answer and it's a female. She's like, hello, hello. And I'm like, hello. I'm like, hello. She's like, yeah, maybe Ashton. I didn't mean to say that. Well, shoot, it's too late. Maybe maybe he doesn't want to talk to you anymore. Like, you know, maybe you should just let it go. Da, da, da. And I was like, excuse me. I said, excuse me. Nah, but like, I didn't like really say that. I let her like, you know, get out what she was saying. But I was like, I said, pardon me, but I was calling him due to the dog to see if he was possibly in New Jersey so that he could, you know, pick up his friend dog because I was trying to get my apartment bombed, you know, and so I could like be able to move this stuff out or, you know, do what I gotta do, take care of my business, possibly move, like all of that good stuff. And she was like, well, he's not he's like 15 hours away from Jersey, so yeah, that's just it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. That is what it is. True, I can't do nothing about that. But yeah, it was just odd to me. It was real odd to me. When I told her over the phone, I was like, well, thank you. Like I said, I was being proper. You know, I was hurt on the inside. I was proper. I kept it classy, very human. I said, well, I thank you for being woman enough to, you know, tell me what was going on since he couldn't be man enough to tell me what he was feeling and what he had to say. I don't know if it's because he didn't have the guts to say it or the strength to say it. Or like, that's what I'm saying, like, I don't know, like, if somebody put a gun to this man's head and told him to leave me alone, stay away, and if he was ever to talk to me again, that he would, like, be, like, gone, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it was like I said, I was in North Carolina, he didn't have a problem talking to me. Then fast forward to I come up here to Jersey and I'm trying to get in contact with him, and it's like, I don't know if it was because, you know, the whole motto everybody be going by, new year, new me. I ain't gonna talk to nobody. You know, from last year. You know, I'm gonna keep you at a distance. I ain't gonna keep you near. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But it was just odd. And I told him, I was like, I sent him a message, like a long, drawn out message. Like, I said I was going to post a video, but I guess God had other plans for me to get it out now. Because, like, I guess this is, like, the word one, and then later is just going to be me posting the visual of... Because I learned that you can't just keep everything bottled up. And there's one thing that I said to him when I came across our messages, like a screenshot where I was saying, like, about me needing to go to North Carolina and speak to the people that, you know, face the people that hurt me and all that stuff, because I always kept it in due to them either saying that they don't remember or they just didn't want to talk about it and move past it and blah, blah, blah. And I like, that's why I was like, I felt like this was happening. Because I said, you know, it wasn't the same night, obviously. Like, I waited because I was questioning. I was like, Lord, should I say something to him about it? Like, should I, or just leave it alone? And I was like, you know, I left it alone. Then one day I came to the Lord and I asked him, I'm like, Lord, all right, is this, can I say something? Like, in a respectful manner. He gave it okay, so I sent the message on Wednesday that passed, and I said, I'm a bit confused as to why you hung up the phone on my face the other night, as well as had a female speak on your behalf to me. We were in communication before I went to North Carolina, and while I was in North Carolina, now that I'm back in Jersey, you're acting different. I said, I literally called you to make sure you were alive and breathing because of what was being said to me by the people in the neighborhood. I said, I wasn't sure if you came by my apartment while I was out of town and someone said something or did something to you, especially since I was calling you and you weren't answering. On top of that, I was calling to see if you could get your friend dog because I was trying to get the apartment bombed. I was going to have someone take her, but I was attempting to give her to someone who knows, whether to someone she knows, meaning I was referring to the dog owner. Like, I didn't, and I said whether it was you or the person who sent her / dropped her off to me. And it's funny because I was gonna say drop, but something, it's just like I put sent, like sent her to me, like sent as in sorcery. I said it is a new year and I have made some changes that I plan to stick to. I got rescued and baptized. And it's funny because I meant to say I got resaved and baptized biblically, but it came out as I got rescued and baptized biblically, which I guess I did because I did pray where I was at, which was my brother G-Mon place. And I said, Lord, please deliver me from the hands of my enemies, knowingly and unknowingly, because it was like they was trying to like go tit for tat. Like, not all of them, but like, I don't know, like from my point of view, it was all of them. Like, they was, one of them kept coughing and coughing, like purposely, like, because I guess when we was younger, anytime they would sneeze and cough, I would do this. And I told him, I was like, that don't faze me no more. Like, I'm like, that was like when I was a kid. But I was like, thanks for showing me where it stems from. Like, y'all was always doing it, like, you know, coughing or sneezing and not covering their mouth. But I was like, I conquered that in Jersey when I was the little kid that I, with the biblical name. His younger brother used to have snot come out his nose all the time. I done had snot on my shoulder, my hands, I think my face. Like, like I conquered that. I got over that. And yeah, because I remember when I was washing the dishes and he was like, I was talking in my head and he was like, he's a sorcery, because like his mom, I guess she passed it down to them. And he was like, people just talk so much. Like, he said it like towards my ear, and I'm just like I just like, I heard it, but I was like, I'm gonna just ignore it. I was like, I said, well, you exposed yourself. But also going back to the message, I said I got rescued and baptized biblically, so I appreciate it if you didn't focus on who or what I did prior to this year, if and when you are ready. I guess I did say if and when you are ready. So I did say if and when you are ready. It's one thing, we gotta be careful what we say. Because we gotta remember what we say too. Because you can't, and actually there's nothing wrong with that, because it is true. You can't rush a person to accept the new you, especially when they've been, you know, so used to seeing a old or a version of you, or a certain, or they had like a narrative, whether it's the you that you actually are, or the you that they created on their own. But all it is you can't make a person view you how you want them to view you, or how you view yourself, and that's just that. You know, you could pray and ask the Lord to fix their eyes and ears to view you as the same way that the Lord views you, and show them the truth. So yeah. Um it also says, I just wanted to make sure you were okay. If what she said on the phone is correct, then you can just tell me instead of making it seem like I'm just a crazy chick blowing up your phone begging or chasing you. I said, if that is something you cannot do, then I guess that is between you, God, and Jesus, who is real name is Yahshua. He responded and said that same day, and I didn't even know. I ended up seeing it the next day. This was Wednesday. I sent my text message Wednesday 2:58 p.m. and he responded Wednesday 5:03 p.m. Like I said, my phone was off, so I didn't, know. He said, I appreciate you for checking on me, but honestly, I've moved on with my life, and I believe you should too. Therefore, I don't think we need to communicate anymore. I honestly don't hold anything against you. I'm glad to hear that you're improving and moving up, and I genuinely do wish you nothing but the best. It hurt me when he said that. It's like I'm a person where I really am like so used to holding stuff in, and I really like being on here, even expressing this is like uncomfortable for me. But you gotta learn how to just talk about it, let it out, cause holding it in or like crying about it behind closed doors is not. It's only gonna make it worse. Seriously. But I responded Thursday 6:07 p.m. and I said, well, as you said to me before, when I leave, I hope it's no bad blood between me and you. So that's what he had said to me like a while back when we had got into like a scuffle. I think, yeah, I think that's when it occurred. That time, I don't know who coming to see me. This sign means a male is coming to see me. Hopefully, it's a male that I actually want to see, and that God sent to me, and not the enemy. Amen. In the Lord's name, amen on that. But yeah, so I was just like kind of reminding him of what he said, like because he said when he leaves, he hopes there's no bad blood between me and him and all that. So I'm like telling him like, look, this what you said to me, so it's the same way with me. And it's funny, it was like reverse psychology a little bit. It's like, and then also to just let him know like just the same way you feel is the same way I feel in this moment. When you felt what you felt in that, when you sent it back then, this is how I feel the same way. Or I don't know if he really meant it, but I know I did. Like, it's no bad blood at all. And the fact that I'm like even telling the story, like, it's really no bad blood. I don't hate him. I don't dislike him. I don't wish no bad on him. Honestly, I was like telling the Lord, like, bring him back. Like, shoot, bring him back if you can. Like, because I really didn't understand like how everything was copacetic, and then one day everything just went down the drain. Like, we was going to the park, we was running, we was cooking for each other. Like, he made chicken, I made chickpea curry, mashed potatoes, and we like tied our dishes together with some. Like, I was looking at the videos, and I'm like, what the heck did occur? And I feel like it was because we had a lot of jealous people around us who envied our relationship and caused problems, and that kind of like started a problematic issue in our relationship or whatever. But yeah, I said, so just know if or when you need a true friend, I'll still be here or be there. If and when you do come around, there will be no problematic relationship, meaning friendship or whatever. God has a plan. I said God has a plan. Either way, stay safe. That's interesting. I meant to say God has a plan, but I said or whatever God has planned. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, I meant to say I meant there in that way. I said like basically meaning like whether it's like we get to actually be in a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend relationship this time around, or we just be a friend to each other, or whatever happens, and then maybe we just don't speak again. Like the but it's just like whatever or whatever God has planned, like or whatever He has planned. We just gonna have to wait and see. And I said either way, stay safe, and I'll continue to pray for you, and hopefully you do the same regarding me. And I said positive prayers, LOL, because you know some people they can wish bad on you through their prayers. So that's why I said in a positive prayers. And I said much love, XOXO. And as you see, he left me undelivered. Never said anything back. After I said what I said, don't know if y'all could see. I know y'all can see a little bit in the gray, but you can't really see in the blue. It won't really focus, but yeah, that's it. And that's all. And it's funny because, like I said, I was really just looking at our pictures. I made this little collage of us. We look cute. And it's crazy because people was like, oh, you know, y'all don't really look like you. They was basically saying, like, people were saying I would look better with another person or whatever. But, like, I don't know. People was really downplaying him. But it was like I was standing on business with him. I was like, please leave him alone. Like, he is handsome. Like, I always told him he remind me of Melvin Blue from The Temptations. I was like, y'all look very identical. And Blue, Melvin, I had a crush on him when I was younger. He's still my boo. He was my favorite one in The Temptation. Everybody was worried about David Ruffin. I wanted Blue. Y'all see that? The fact that I got blue on. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, I don't know, cause Blue, he was like a little mama's boy, very quiet. Only thing is, he followed after Otis a little too much. He just needed to branch off from Otis. That's just it. Like, and I will say, David was kind of right. I'm sorry, Blue, in the spirit. I know he listening. I was like, David Ruffin was a little bit right about that when he was like, he said, but you got to stay Blue. He said, whatever, that's right, Otis. Whatever you say, Otis. Trust me, that's my movie. God says don't idolize nobody, but God knows I'm a music head and I enjoyed the Temptations music, and the movie was phenomenal. Like it was phenomenal. It was also a lesson learned. It's a lot of lessons in there. I realized that I think this is gonna be the last thing I say, but because in the Bible it tells us, you know, not to really smoke or drink or fornicate and all that stuff. And I realized that Otis was the main one that didn't do that stuff. I think the one thing he probably did that was wrong was he cheated on Josephine, which was no, what's that her name? Not Josephine. What's that her name? I think it was Josephine. But yeah, Paul, he had like it's like when they all started out, they had a faith with them. Like they had faith. They had like they was praying. Like I remember if you watched the movie, like as I got older, I was watching it and I saw so much. And I realized, I was like, when they first started out, Paul will always lead the prayer. Paul would always lead the prayer. Or like he would always be like, let's pray. Like, let's pray. Like before they went into Motown, he was the one, he said, y'all all right, let's pray before we go in. And they all huddled together and they prayed. But it was when David Ruffin kind of came in, I believe, that's when things started going a little downhill. So, yeah. I feel like I had probably possibly a little David Ruffin in my life that came in and caused some disruption and all that stuff. But, yeah, it was crazy because, yeah, Paul, he was a praying man, and then later you see him become a drunken man, and then an abuser to his wife, and like kind of aggressive. And well, yeah, I'll say aggressive because I don't think it showed that he ever hit her. I think he just like pushed her in the movie aggressively, and that was about it. But and then Eddie, you know, we see him take the drink from Paul when they was sitting in front of Motown in their car. And then Eddie began smoking cigarettes, I believe, because I think in the beginning he wasn't smoking cigarettes, but he fell victim to smoking cigarettes, which led to him having lung cancer, and he passed away from that. And then allegedly they say Paul committed suicide when he, you know, got drunk and all that stuff. We don't really know. But Blue, I remember he got shot in his leg because somebody was trying to steal his car and he was trying to fight back. He was fighting them back over something materialistic. I always said, look here, go ahead and take it, brother. Look here, I just tell, like, I'm famous. I'm a celebrity. I just tell them I'll report it in. Or they probably had cameras like that. I don't know if they had street cameras and all that stuff, whatever, but you was, you know, I don't know, I think they was going through some stuff, you know, financially, him and Otis at that time. Because I think that's when the Temptations, like, kind of had started breaking up. Members was going and all that. So that's probably why he was fighting for his car. He was like, man, that's my car, what? But like I said, it was materialistic. And I've been in a situation where I had my phone stolen, my iPhone, and $3,500 I saved up. And I was, you know, kind of tempted to go seek revenge, but I had to pray that the Lord deliver me from them thoughts, and thank him that I was alive and nothing. That's all that they did was steal from me, and I got beat up a little bit. Walked away with, you know, a little bit of scars, but I was still cute. I got the picture. Okay, but yeah, and it was all because I think he was trying to, well, not even all because, but I remember in the movie he was trying to holler at a female, lusting. But yeah, it was, I felt bad for Blue, but he didn't, I think after that, he didn't die immediately, obviously. If you know, you know. After that, but that's what caused his health issues, like in his leg and all that stuff. And I remember he was being like a little bit hard-headed, like the doctor was telling him the things that he needed to do and all that stuff, and he was going against the grain. And he was like, I don't care about it, I just want the shot, just give me the shot, doc, like that's it. And then also he was quiet about the things that he was going through. Like, I remember he didn't really tell Otis nothing about that until I think he wound up in the hospital. And I feel like if he didn't, like, you know, gatekeep so long what he was dealing with, maybe something could have been done a lot sooner. Or maybe, you know, Otis could have spoke some wisdom into him, or, you know, somebody could have, like, spoke to him. But if you remember in the movie, for those that watched it, he was very quiet about his problems. And it's like, he probably wasn't praying to God either around that time. He was probably just, going and doing things on his own. And it's very important that you put, especially when you're dealing with something like health, you gotta put God in the midst of that, because he's the first healer. And but yeah, I remember in the movie it showed that they was out sitting at the, well, not all, because by then everybody was gone. David, he passed away. I think they said due to a drug overdose. And it's crazy because in the movie all you see is him getting tossed out of a limousine or a limo, and that was it. And I always growing up thought that somebody had killed him, like beat him and like just tossed him out the car. But come to find out, he passed away due to a drug overdose. I think it was heroin or cocaine and all that stuff. And whoever he was with just tossed him out the car, which was terrible. But he was into some wicked things. And unfortunately, it took his life. That wicked thing, which was the crack and cocaine, doing that, he passed away due to a drug overdose. And I think Otis, he was pretty much the only righteous man, really, after all of that. And that's probably why he's still alive to this day. Who knows? But that just lets, I don't know, just really pray. Pray about everything, no matter what. Whether you think somebody doing voodoo on you, like, I'm telling y'all, hold on. But yeah, anytime, just pray, have faith, and forgive people that wronged you. Love them even when they do you wrong. Like I said, it was real hurtful that he hung up the phone on me, and as you see, I still left him a very heartfelt message. I told him how I felt, even though I waited a few days, but I finally said it in a respectable manner, how I felt, and he responded. And then and it's funny because I had typed up something else, like after I sent the paragraph, and I was going, when he responded, I had to type up something smart to say, but I had changed it. Like, it was still nice, but it was like a little sarcastic twang that I was gonna add at the bottom of the message. But I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. That ain't right. We ain't gonna do that. So, well, I ain't say that. The Lord nudged me like, don't be doing that. Don't do that. And yeah, like you see, I just ended with XOXO, hugs and kisses. I still love you. Still love you. It's just unfortunate things went how it went. And like I said, we don't wrestle against flesh and flesh. It's always the spirit behind it. That's why we have to just pray for one another. And mainly just love. Like, don't hold grudges. Like, seriously, the grudges is so pointless. Like, you really spend all that time making memories with a person, and then it just goes down the drain. But I feel like in this world, we just gotta learn to love each other. Like, everybody just really just put down their pride, put down like being jealous and envious of a person's success or where they gonna head, because you got people that do sorceries and want to look into the future and see what a person have ahead of their life before the person even could get to like experience it or see it for themselves. And you got other people trying to block them from getting to it and all this other stuff. And it's just sad that like you have people like that in this world that do those things. Like, seriously, it's like, girl, stay in your lane. It's like, girl, stay in your lane. Worry about your own life. See where God is gonna take you. And it's like, if you see that he not taking you somewhere as amazing as me, maybe you need to look in the mirror and see why. Stop dipping and diving into them sorceries and witchcraft and spells and all that stuff, because that's one thing. I never did that. When people did me wrong, I didn't turn around and be like, oh, let me go put together a little spell. Let me go do a little ritual. Like, nobody, I ain't do none of that. I took my L's and I moved on. Or I had negative thoughts and I had to rebuke it. I had to run to the church. I had to pray. Or I had to cry in my room by myself, in this apartment by myself. Just the other night, I was tearing, crying, because I was like kind of taken back when I went to North Carolina from when my dad told me he was going to punch me in my face and call me the B word. My own biological father. And it's like in the video, I'm like so calm, like it's like that's not even really how that doesn't have nothing to do with me. I'm just not pay. Like, it's on my live channel. It's on, I said my live channel. It's on my YouTube channel, La-Torria. My actual channel that I had always been posting on. But I really decided to get back into this channel because this is a ministry channel, and I feel like more people need to be touched on this channel and need to be, told about the gospel and the goodness and grace and love and mercy of, our Lord, our Father, Yahweh, and his son, Yahshua. But, yeah, I didn't... like, that, it's like people question why God chooses or why God blesses or show favor to a person. And it's just like, if you could look into my future, look into my past. How about that? You want to look into my future and see what God has aligned for my future. Look into my past and see what I had to go through, see what I had to endure, see what I had to turn a left cheek and a right cheek and even my back cheek. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot for me, like, when it was hard for me not to seek revenge. Seriously. From people that betrayed me, hurt me, beat me, like, and the people that beat me up and like stole my phone and my money that I had saved up, that I was working hard for, was the same people that I was sleeping on the street with and buying a hotel room for so that we could have a roof over our head. And that same night I was gonna rent a hotel for like at least a week so that we didn't have to sleep on the street. And that same night they had a plan to rob me, and they succeeded. And though they took things materialistically, it hurt me, and I wanted to seek revenge, but I didn't. And I consulted in a lot of people and told them my plan. I had it all mapped out. Had my caseworker get me a ticket, told her like a little fib, or told her like, oh, I had to go back and do this, so, or get this. Well, really, I needed the bus ticket to go out there and do some damage. And people was gonna lose their life. But I knew that wasn't righteous, and I knew that wasn't the person that I was. That wasn't the person that God created me to be. He didn't create me to be out here killing people, robbing people, and all that stuff. And he didn't do that. He didn't create you for that either. People want to be like, oh, no, I've been like that. That's just me. That's me. That's me. No, it's not. It ain't you. That's what the enemy is placing in your mind. That's what you seeing other people do, and that's what you feel like you have to do to survive. But you don't. All you got to do is lean on God. Lean on your Father and believe in Yahshua. And they got you. They got your back. And that's just that. People be always literally like worried about the wrong things. And it's like you trying to knock me down. You trying to destiny swap with me. Hint, hint. Somebody tried to destiny swap with me. Destiny swap with me at the wrong time. Because I was in here, lights off, no electricity, no nothing. So, yeah, you destiny swap me at the wrong time. And when I saw them in their situation, they got going. They was like, I can't do this. Yeah, come walk in, like, you want to look in my future. Come walk in my present. Come walk in my present. And also, I invite you to go look in my past. Please go down that memory. I'm not saying that what I've been through was worse than others, but all I'm saying is we all go through the struggle. But it's how you deal with it is the most important thing, and that's just that. It's really how you deal with it. Whether you allow it to shape you and mold you into a better person, into a humble person, or you allow it to change you into a greedy person, a stingy person, a misery person, like a person just full of misery, a jealous person. Like, it's just up to you. Who you gonna become after that? And they say, like, don't become the person that hurt you. And it was a time where I became a person that hurt me, and I ended up hurting someone. And it was like I didn't want to never be like that. Like I never wanted to be like that ever again, cause I did it unknowingly. And I'll say his name. I did it to a guy named Trayvon. Like his family was very sweet to me, took me in and all that. And I would like get upset at the smallest things. And it was like he was kind of pampered in a way. It's like he had his mom always there, and it's like I grew up on poverty a little bit. From what I've seen from the outside looking in, it was like he was wanting to like drive down the street in a car when it was drizzling. I remember this one time in Wells Fargo, and I was like, Trey, we can literally just walk there. Like, it's a straight shot down the street. He like, yeah, but it's raining. I'm like, boy, it's drizzling. Like, we could walk down there. I said, you could put on a dang on a jacket, a hoodie, put it on, and we could walk down there. I'm like, you gonna waste some gas money just to go down, or waste gas to go down the dang on street. But it was like, we had two different perspectives. It was like I was used to walking everywhere. Like my mom, she taught me like walk. Like we used to literally walk around the whole dang Greensboro. If you know, you know. Okay. My mom, she, them legs be going. Them legs be, it be going. So all I know is just really just be the person that anytime, matter of fact, don't, because I know y'all like, well, how can I be the person that God created me to be? She keeps saying be the person that God created us to be. Let me tell you how you can do that. You can fast and pray. And you say with your tongue, right there, make the mouth move and say, Lord, help me to be the person that you created me to be. Lead me not astray. And if I do go away, snap your finger and reel me back in. Like a fish, when you go like this, reel, and you trying to really get the fish, got the fish. That's what it is. Tell God, anytime I start going away, trying to swim with other bitches. Pull me back in. Pull me up out of there. Pull me right up out of that dirty water. Pull me right back in. And watch how he saves you. Watch how he gives you his grace and his mercy, and watch how he turns his face to you. And watch how your life change. People want to know why God, why is she like always, like, it's like everything just seems to work out for her. No, it's because when things was going bad, I called upon the Lord. Hello. It says I love Jesus, and that's another thing. Everybody be like, I had somebody, Trey's sister asked me, well, who do like when I hear people like say like you know, they like Yahshua, like that his name like is Yahshua, like, but is it really? And I'm just like, all I know is when I was hitchhiking, I said Lord. And it's like he knew who I was referring to. He knew. It's like he knows that this world is nothing full of liars, sinners, cheaters, like, but it's through him. Like his word says, I have overcome the world, which he was here and didn't commit not one dang on sin. So he overcame this world, which is why we have to read the Bible so that we could overcome it. But because we don't, and we don't keep his commandments, we fall victim to a lot of things, knowingly and unknowingly. But if we seek his face each and every day, he got us. Just the other day, I was at Section 8, and next thing you know, they said like the place was about to close at 11. It was like I came there like at around, I think 10 o'clock or 10:30, and I had a meeting at the school at like 10:30. So I'm like, I walked in, I was like, well, I'm gonna just come back. And they like, well, we do close at 11, so just remember that. And I'm just like, So I walked out, and I was about to go meet my Paces coach that is in the car to like go to Ruckus, but like, I don't know, I just turned back around. I said, nah. I said, nah, I think I'm gonna go back. So I turned back around, started going, I went back inside, and I'm like contemplating, I'm like, a lady, like, she came up to me, I'm thinking like she was asking me a question, she's like, well, what's your name, and I'm like, it's at the bottom. She's like, well, I don't see your name, and I was like, it's probably on, I said, it's on the other sheet. She was like, where? I don't see it. And I was like, it's at the bottom. And it was like patience a little bit, because I'm like, okay, maybe she about to take me, maybe that's the Lord about to bless me right here and there. He said, baby girl, you ain't that blessed, highly favored. He said, you see them other people over there? Because it's like I looked over, and I'm like, well, it is other people over there, so it would be wrong for me to just be able to like be seen, and people probably been waiting. So it was like, go on over there, have a seat. Go ahead, have a seat, baby girl. So I went over, and not the lady didn't say that to me. It's like the Lord was nudging me, like, because he'll place it in your head, a positive thought. And that's what it is. When you have a positive thought, knowledge, wisdom thoughts, that's of God. When you have negative thoughts, something that you know is going to cause harm or be detrimental, that ain't, steer away from that. Rebuke that. Say, Lord, I rebuke that thought. Take it away. Redirect my thoughts. But I had my seat, and I'm looking, I'm like, all right, Lord. I said a prayer right then and there. I said, please let them go fast. I said, please let them go fast. Because my Paces coach, I was sitting there for a while, and then he was like, well, I guess we're going to be late. So I picked up my phone, and I said, yeah, we probably might. I said, it looks that way. But God instilled that wisdom, call the school. So I called them. I said, hi. I let them know. I said, unfortunately, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm running a bit late. I said, is it possible that I could come there at 11? She said, yeah, you could come at 11. I said, okay, cool. Click, hung up. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there. I'm looking at the time. I'm seeing how many people. And I said a prayer again. I said, Lord, I said, please let them start calling these people names a little bit faster. I said, please make a way. Please. Because my Pacers coach was saying that he had to go to his next youth at 12 and all this extra stuff. And like I said, the meeting was at 11. And there was a lot of people up in there. So I'm like, I don't know. But I started, like, all I heard was a voice say, watch the people. And, like, watch the people that's coming in and all this stuff and all that. And I'm watching. And I'm turning back. As they they start calling people names. Like, but it was like a little pause at a second. So I'm like, ooh, Lord. But I'm like, you know what? I ain't going to worry about it. I ain't going to fret. I was like, I'm going to just wait and be patient. Next thing you know, they called my name. I got up and I said, I went to the window. Come to find out, God blessed me. The lady was like, what you need? What you need? I said, I need an RTA package. That's what I need. And she was like, well, is it you going out of state? Da da da. Like or you staying in Jersey? And I was like, I don't know. I said, I don't. And she was like, I'll be right back. And it's like me. I was like, okay. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, I get it. Like, I don't know. Like, she a little hostile, a little bit. But I was like, you know what? She probably just trying to get her job done. Like, we got people up in here. Everything's spiritual, so she probably heard my prayer, like, hurry up. So I should have known what I needed, what I had to say, and all this stuff. So, and then on top of that, I didn't even know when she told me about or asked me about whether I was staying in Newark or moving out of Newark, New Jersey. I didn't even know that I could possibly, look at this. These roaches have, like, literally a mind of their own, like, witchcraft. Hello. Because it's like they're literally purposely come right up to me. Like, I've seen it where I'm sitting on the floor and I'll go like this and it'll just be like right towards me. Right here under my butt, it'll go to my foot, my leg. As you see, well, y'all can't even see the counter. It's just like, it'll just come right towards me. But, yeah, I didn't even know I could, I had the opportunity to, or the chance to move out of state with my voucher. So I was just trying to take that in, and I was like, okay, when she say like out of New Jersey, like out of, well, first she said like, was I staying in Newark or was I moving out of Newark? So I'm like, what does she mean by that? Like, does she mean like out of like New Jersey, like insurance? Like, I'm thinking she like saying like, you know, Livingston or Patterson, like, you know, out of Newark, New Jersey, but still in Jersey. So when she came back and she was like, she said, you can move to anywhere, like, you can move out of state. She said, you can move to Florida. She said, you can move, take your bachelor to Florida. And I said, really? I said, I did not know that. But I feel like it was a trick of the enemy a little bit. But it was good to hear. It was real nice to hear. But all I know is I was patient. It was like a test. Cause it was like when I was walking out the door, it was like a lady walking real slow. And normally I'd be agitated, like, oh, hurry up. Like, oh my goodness, this person walking slow. But it was like I was just taking my time, just letting her walk slow. And paying it no mind. And after that, I heard a voice say, notice how you're being patient. And I was like, I sure am. I was like, I'm just allowing this lady to go at her own little pace, because she was moving slow. She had a little pain. But I ended up getting outside. It was like 10:56, and I told, like, first thing I told my Pacers, I was like, yeah, I said, it looked like we made it before 11. I was like, we ain't going that far. We just going around the corner or whatever. Because he was asking for the address, and I was like, I could direct you. And then it was a little patience with him. I don't know. Like, when we was in the meeting, he wasn't really writing down notes, like actual notes. Like, he was doodling on his paper, and then he he wrote down a date, like they said December 15th, and he wrote down, I think, December 15th or January. And it was just like, and I was looking and I was just like, and then he got a phone call and he put it on speaker, and it was just like a disturbance a little bit. Like, and I was just like this junk is real, like really spiritual warfare. Like this is really no joke. And it was like it was hidden from me because I didn't have wisdom and knowledge. But it's like now I see it, and since I got wisdom and knowledge, it's like everybody freely walking around as they are. People happily walking around in their witch outfits and all this extra stuff, sending subliminal comments on Instagram towards me. And it's just like, y'all wasn't doing this when, you know, before I knew, before I had wisdom. That's how you know, like, it's a joke. Like, no offense. That stuff is really for the weak. Because it's like, you had to be hidden. Like, you knew what it was. You knew who I was in the spirit. I didn't know who you was in the spirit, though. Because I didn't know nothing about the spirits. I only was, like, going in the flesh a lot. But it was like, y'all wasn't showcasing it like this before. Y'all was all in my face trying to be friendly. But, now it's wisdom and knowledge in me. Now everybody not afraid to show that who they are and all this extra stuff. That's why it's really a joke. That's why it's best to just be with God. Like, just stay in his presence. That's it. Like, don't try to be wicked, because it's just stupid. Like, it's foolery. Like, seriously, stay away from that stuff. Anything to do with spells and predicting the future or causing dismays or destiny swapping with somebody, don't do that stuff. Stay in your lane, because what God has for you, no man can take from you. No woman can come in between that. And on top of that, what God has for you is going to be amazing. God knows each and every one of his children. So you may thinking like, oh, this person got this person got that, and I'm over here living off of food stamps and all this other stuff. Just because they walking around smiling. It was a time where I was literally living in I've been living dang near in shelters and programs since the moment I came up to Jersey. This apartment is literally my first apartment to myself. Literally. But because I dressed nice, people thought I had a lot of money. Well, really, I was shopping at Rainbow. Right down the street. These got from like some little cheap store downtown. This, I can't even remember. I think somebody gave me this. This shirt, Rainbow. Shopping at Easy Pickings. Yes. No, not Yes. Yes is a little too expensive. I used to shop there like every now and then. Because they jeans be like $20 and all. And shirts be like $30, $40. I said, I said, at time in 2020 when I was, had a little bit of money, I was working like 2 jobs. And I was ordering things on like Fashion Nova, but I would always catch them when they had a sale. And that's the one thing. Like, I would always catch them when they had a sale, but it was draining my little pocket, so took it back to my natural little habitat. Wearing regular clothes. Don't be trying to buy jewelry and fancy name brand shoes, because it doesn't dictate who you are on the inside. All it does is make people view you as something that you're not. Like, that's just it. So, that's like a way of trying to be somebody that you're not. And I did that, trying to be somebody I'm not. Like, because I grew up on poverty, basically. I didn't have Jordans and all that stuff. I wanted them, If my brother grandmother, she bought me a pair of Jordans, they were flights. Flights back then was, if you know, you know, flights was not that, flights weren't right. They weren't right. You know, they was considered the bottom of the barrel type of Jordans. But I didn't like take heat like, well, she bought me a pair of Jordans. She bought me what she could. And I enjoyed those Jordans. But it's just shoes. Don't get tied up in clothes and shoes and all that stuff. Be focused on here and here. Alright? Cause the moment you focus on this and even this, your hair and even your skin, like wearing makeup, all that stuff, you lose sight of what the enemy is doing around you. You lose sight of what God is trying to tell you. So it's very important that you pray, ask for wisdom, ask for knowledge, ask for discernment. And pray for your enemies, for they don't know what they do is wrong. Because you got to understand, they at one point was a kid and someone taught them the things that they possibly just picked up on the things that they had saw, and that's just that their environment. And you can't judge them. Just pray for them. Seriously, pray for them. Literally. You don't gotta do it in their face. You don't even gotta tell them that you're doing it. Just do it. Because by you praying, they could possibly be delivered. And God could like even work in them or move them out your way. So, because his knowledge is, he sees everything that we can't see. Like we see the things that's in front of us. Like we could be kicking it with somebody, then the moment they leave, you know, they go on their journey and whatnot, and we don't hear a thing, we don't see a thing that they doing, but guess who do? God. So don't be afraid to also tag him in your battles. Not just Yahshua. Sometimes you gotta say, God, help. Because sometimes, you know, sometimes you gotta tag in everybody. Tag in Yahshua, tag in Yahweh, our Father God, tag in the angels, tag in the archangels, tag in the ancestors. Sometimes you gotta call on all of them. Tell them, come on into my situation right now. I need y'all help. Right now. Deliver me from the hands of my enemies. Please. Please, please, please. Please. Deliver me from the hands of my enemies. Amen. Alright, I don't know why this nose keep itching, but yeah. The Book of Ruth. Ruth is a cameo story of love, devotion, and redemption set in the black context of the days of the judges. I need to read that. But yeah, that's about it for today. I know I said a lot of things, and hopefully y'all understood everything. With that being said, I love y'all and y'all be safe. Peace and blessings.